Right, hello Year 3. Today, as you can see from our learning objective at the top, we are looking at fronted adverbials. Hopefully you will remember from last week's work, we had a word mat, a sneaky word mat, included fronted adverbials, because as you can hear in adverbial, you can hear the word adverb. So we've looked at them in our our most recent learning journey, but today we're going to be looking specifically at fronted adverbials. So what is a fronted adverbial? Fronted is a big clue as well for where they go in a sentence. So let's have a closer look at what they do. A fronted adverbial goes at the beginning of a sentence. So they go at the front of a sentence, and they and putting things at the front of sentences like fronted adverbials create a less repetitive, more engaging piece of writing for the reader. They describe the verb in the sentence. So they describe the action or doing word in the sentence. It describes when, where, or how something happened. So keep that in your mind, because we'll have a little look at that in a moment about what are they doing? Are they saying where, when, or how? Okay. Oh, yeah, I always think there's one more there, but there isn't. So let's look at those key features and have a look at some fronted adverbials and have a look at some examples. So here's an example. After many years, the Sandman woke to the sound of a whisper. Now there is a fronted adverbial in that sentence. Can you spot it? Remember, they go at the front or beginning of the sentence. So have a bit of a think. Pause the video if you want to. What do you think is the fronted adverbial in that sentence? So the fronted adverbial is after many years. That tells us exactly when the Sandman woke up to the sound of a whisper. He woke, so that's the verb, the action doing word. When did he do it? He did it after many years. Now, fronted adverbials have a fantastic little signal, which hopefully you can see here. Oh, that's a big chunky pen. I might change that in a second, which is a comma. Now you have a fronted adverbial and then you have a comma after the fronted adverbial. That's because the main clause or the main body of the sentence, which I'll underline in a different colour hopefully. You find a different colour. Let's do it in brown. Is the Sandman woke to the sound of a whisper. That makes sense on its own. So that's the main clause. The extra bit, after many years, tells us when it happened, tells us when that main clause happened. So I'm going to show you some more fronted adverbials, and I would like you can pause the video and have a good look at them. I will read them through as well. So I'm going to show you, I think it's 3 or 4. Yeah, it's 4. There we go. I can never remember. So what are the fronted adverbials in these sentences? Following a long sleep, Sandy heard Mim. After a while, the Sandman woke up slowly. On his moon, Mim was gazing at the stars. After the golden age, Sandman woke to hear a whisper. So pause the video if you like, have a bit of a think. What do you think are the fronted adverbials in those sentences? Off you go. So hopefully you've had a bit of a go. In this first sentence, following a long sleep. Oh, it's in brown. I don't want it in brown, sorry. Main clauses are in brown. So following a long sleep, that's telling us when Sandy heard Mim. It's telling us it happened after following a long sleep. And you can see as well that we've got that clue there. We've got that signal. Oh dear, hang on. I'm doing it on a line, sorry. Pen, there it is. We've got that signal showing us in the comma, oh dear me, that the fronted adverbial has ended. The main clause in that sentence, Sandy heard Mim. That makes sense on its own. That is our main clause. So, looking at the next one, hopefully my colours will work better this time. After a while. Oh, how? How has that gone on the wrong colour? Right, I'm changing it. Right, there we go. After a while. That's telling us when the Sandman woke up slowly. So what we'll do, because we can see that signal again, that clue again, we've got that comma there, and that's telling us that the fronted adverbial ends. You've got the main clause, the Sandman woke up slowly. Ooh, adverb. That makes sense on its own. After a while is our fronted adverbial, and it tells us when something happened. The next one, on his moon, is our next fronted adverbial, and you can see as well that clue in the comma that tells us the fronted adverbial has ended. Remember, they go at the front at the beginning. Is that telling us how? Is that telling us when? Or is that telling us where? Of course, it's telling us where. It happened on his moon. So it's telling us where Mim was gazing at the stars. And the last one we've got here, after the golden age, is that final fronted adverbial there. And again, we've got that comma as our clue, that punctuation telling us that the fronted adverbial has ended, and then the main clause begins. The Sandman woke up to hear a whisper. That makes sense on its own. So let's have a little look at our task for today. We have got, so I've given you 3 examples of fronted adverbials there. I would like you to write 5 sentences with fronted adverbials. They do not have to link together. You can just write them almost in a list, but they do need to be full sentences. I would like these sentences to be about some of our characters that we have looked at. So they could be about Mim, or they could be about Pitch, or they could be about Sandy or Jack Frost. Or if you know if you've got any background information from the films, then you could talk about Santa, or you could talk about the Easter Bunny as well. Although the Easter Bunny does look very different in the film to the book, or the Tooth Fairy as well. Okay, so I would like you to write 5 sentences, each with a fronted adverbial. There is a word mat to help you as well. So if you get stuck, use the word mat and pick the right main clause to go with the right fronted adverbial. Please send me a copy of your work when you are finished. Good luck, enjoy, see you soon.